Hey gaming fans, so today's another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and this one is Prediction Princess. I've done a Prediction Princess deck in the past, so this one's just updated with a few new cards, because Darkwing Blast came out with some new Prediction Princess support, and so I thought I would kind of rejig the deck to make it a little bit better. So anyways, let's get to the build, and I'll explain my choices. Just put the extra deck over there for right now. The deck does have an extra deck, but I mean, it doesn't heavily rely on it, so, but I'll get to that later. So for the first monster, we have 3 Prediction Princess Coinorama, I can't say that. You basically flip this card, it's a flip effect. You special summon 1 level 3 or higher flip monster from your hand or deck in face down defense position. Also, you cannot activate other monster effects for the rest of this turn except Prediction Princess monsters. So you have a couple of targets in here that you really want to go for, and I will show those after when we get to them. So the next one we have 1 Prediction Princess Arrow Wisp. These got weird names. So this is a flip effect monster that it just adds a ritual spell card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So it could come in handy if you are full of ritual monsters and you need to grab that one spell. I put in 3 Spirit of the Fall Wind. What's cool about this deck is it does have a lot of these wind monsters, so you can tap into some of the Xyz monsters that use wind monsters. But anyway, so this is a just regular fairy. When you summon her, you get to add a flip monster from your deck to your hand. So the one you're going to usually grab is going to be Pot of the Forbidden. So this is a level 9 flip effect monster that has a lot of great effects that you get to choose one of when it flips up. So you either draw 2 cards, you return all spell and trap cards on the field to the hand, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, or look at your opponent's hand, also shuffle 1 card from their hand into their deck. And you can only use 1 effect once per turn. So basically, you want to abuse this guy in this deck as much as possible. Now for the other flip effect that we might also want to grab. And again, through that first effect, this person's first effect is to special summon a flip monster of 3 or higher. So you're either going to grab your Prediction Princess or your Pot of Forbidden, depending on your game state and where you are, and you know, if you need a Prediction Princess in your hand for whatever reason, or onto the field, I should say. So this one's a cool one. So this came out in Darkwing Blast. So when she flips up, you add 1 Prediction Princess monster, except herself, and 1 ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. So you get 2 cards when she flips up. And then if this card is tributed and sent to the graveyard, you could special summon this card face down defense position. That's the part that really makes this interesting, because it is a level 9, so it would require 2 tributes to get her out. But you're not going to do that. You're going to tribute her off for a ritual summon, and then she will special summon herself in face down defense position. So really good, really cool card design on this one. Then it says you could use each of the preceding effects of Prediction Princess Bibliomus, whatever her name is, once per turn. Your opponent cannot target ritual monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. So she's a really good card even if she's face up on the field. 2500 attack, 2500 defense, protects your ritual monsters. Now for the ritual monsters, we have 1 Prediction Princess Terratraith. This is a new one from the Darkwing Blast set. You can ritual summon this card with Underworld Ritual Prediction. Must be ritual summoned or special summon with Prediction Princess Torturatory. That's the other one. You can use the effect of Princess, whatever her name is, once per turn. You can only activate 1 of the effects. So you flip any number of face down monsters you control to face up defense position, which is very handy because you're going to be having a lot of face down stuff, or you could flip any number of face up monsters you control to face down. So essentially you're flipping and flopping. So really good card. She won't really be used much for attacking. She's only 1200 attack, so you'll probably throw her in defense position. Oh, she does have a flip effect as well. So you can special summon 1 flip monster from your deck in face down defense position. So it'll be handy to flip her down using certain card effects, especially, I guess, her own effect as well. And then we got the original one, which is Prediction Princess Tora Tray. So this one is what the original deck was based off of. You could ritual summon this card with one prediction ritual. During the end phase, you can special summon one flip monster from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position. So yeah, you're going to go for your Pot of the Forbidden, which is why we play this card to get the Pot of the Forbidden into your hand, or you're going to grab a Prediction Princess. Either one, a really good card to get out onto the field. So I guess it depends on where your play is at the moment. And then and then she also has the other effects of during either player's turn, you can target one face down monster on the field and change it to face up attack position. So what's really cool about that is if you have your Pot of Forbidden face down, when your opponent summons a monster, you can use her effect to flip him up and blow up all their monsters. So really cool. And if they don't play anything, then you just flip them up to draw some cards. And she's got 2700 attack, which makes her really strong. So really cool card there. Then for the spells, so that's it for the monster lineup. Now we're going to get into the spells. So I'm playing 3 Terrors of the Hidden City. This was another card that came in the Darkwing Blast set. So your opponent cannot target face-down defense position monsters you control with card effects. So that's really good. Like, you're going to have a lot of face-down stuff, so your opponent can't, try and destroy them with their effects or bounce them off the field. Then, when a monster you control is flipped face up, while this card is face up on the field, it gains 1500 attack and defense. So it makes all the flip effect monsters really, really strong. I mean, some of your flip effect monsters are already strong. Like Prediction Princess has 25 attack and defense, and the Pot has 2000 attack and 3000 defense. So it's going to get really big and probably be able to run over a lot of monsters. Also, it will help with the fact that your this one is only 1200 attack, so now it's getting an extra 1500 boost. Of course, if I'm pretty certain if you have 2 or more on the field, they stack up, so it'll get even bigger. And then if this card in its owner's spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target one monster in your graveyard and special summon it in face down defense position. So again, if your opponent destroys it, you're going to get your flip effect cards that you need onto the field. Then for the other 2 spells, or the rest of the spells I should say, we have the Koji-Kuri Curse. This is your draw, a little bit of draw power. Send 1 level 9 monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. So that isn't too painful. I mean, you get to recur a lot of monsters from the graveyard in this deck. So, getting the 2 cards, throwing your Pot of the Forbidden into the graveyard just to be reborn later on. And then for some more draw power, I put in 2 Pot of Extravagance. So part of the reason why we also have an extra deck in this is because we need to use it to banish cards to draw cards. Because I figured this deck just needed a little bit more draw power, because you can brick easily in this deck. I mean, we are playing with a lot of rituals and stuff like that, and if you don't have the proper combination of cards, you're going to be in trouble. So to also help with trying not to have bad hands, we've got 3 pre-preparation of rites. So you add a ritual spell card from your deck to your hand, and add 1 ritual monster from your deck to your or graveyard to your hand, whose name is listed on that ritual spell card. So your ritual spell card you're going to grab is the Prediction Ritual. So we have 3 of those. It's the only one you can grab with pre-preparation of rites because it lists the monster on it. So this is pretty much a decent card even when it's in the graveyard. So when this card is when this card's in the graveyard, you can banish this card to add 1 Prediction Princess monster from your deck to your hand. So it has to be on the main phase and not the turn it was sent to the graveyard. So on your next turn, after you ritual summon, you get to pull off that effect. The other ritual card you have in this deck is the new Underworld of Ritual Prediction. And you can see that this does not list any monsters on it. It just says this card can ritual summon any Prediction Princess ritual monster. So it's good that it can ritual out either one of them, but you can't use pre-prep to get this into your hand. But that's fine, you grab the other one anyways. And then this one also has an effect that You could banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one non-ritual prediction princess monster from your deck in face down defense position. So you do that during the standby phase. So it's pretty much is the same idea. You can't really use it on the turn you get it into the graveyard because you have to wait till your next standby phase, but it still gives you a monster that you can grab, and you're probably going to grab, you know, you'll either grab the first monster. Just got cards going everywhere here. You're either going to grab this to summon out, or you're going to grab her, depending on what you need. So probably this would be a better one, because then you can grab whatever flip monster you need. So for the rest, we have the Call by the Grave. I just figured that this deck can really get hurt by Ash Blossom and stuff like that, so and effect failures, so you got to be careful on that one. Then we have a Monster Reborn, because we like to grab monsters from the graveyard, whether it be your own or your opponent's, just to help to deal with you know, beating your opponent down faster. And just like with Monster Reborn, we have Back to the Front, because you want your monsters onto the field as much as possible. So and they have pretty big defense, a lot of them, so this one summons it into defense mode, and you're going to have a lot of card effects to flip them face up or face down, so it doesn't really matter. Then I put in one Junk Sleep. So this is a continuous trap that if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can change all face down defense position monsters you control to face up attack position. So that would be really good, again, if you have your Pot of Forbidden out, they summon a monster, you flip the Pot of Forbidden up, and you blow them all away, whatever monsters they have. So really cool card. And then during the end phase, you can change all monsters you control to face down defense position. So another great you know, combo there, where you would just want to reset all your flip monsters, and then next turn just be able to flip them all back up. And for the last two cards of this deck, I put in two Solemn Strikes, just to help slow your opponent down while you get you set up, because this deck does require a little bit of setup time to get all the cards out. You know, you can go pretty quickly on turn 2, I'd say. So just to have that nice Solemn Strike there, just to stop your opponent. Of course, you could play Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning or anything you want, just to try and slow your opponent down. So that's it for the deck. We're going to go to the extra deck. So a lot of this is just really filler, because I don't really find you're going to be going into it very often. If you clog up your field with monsters and you need to you know, clear a space to put another Pot of the Forbidden down or something. So this one I thought was cool. 9 Lives Cat. It's a zombie. It's got 3,300 defense, and it's 2 level 9 monsters. So you play a lot of level 9s in here, and it's possible you might want to go into this. And your opponent cannot target other monsters you control that were special summoned from the graveyard with card effects. So that's cool, because you do a lot of special summoning from the graveyard in this deck. You could detach one material from this card, then target one level 9 monster in your graveyard, and or one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it. You can only use the effect once per turn. I think this card was like built for these guys, because that's exactly what you want it to do. Then I threw in a Lightning Chidori, because, you know, you do have wind level 4 monsters. Even that flip guy, where is it? Like, these are wind monsters, prediction, the Spirit of the Fall, and the other Prediction Princess, this one, he's a wind monster. And they're all fairies too. So we have wind and we have fairies. So we can play Lightning Chidori, and we can play Fairy Cheer Girl, which requires 2 fairy type monsters. Like I said, you might not ever go into these, but it's just a nice option to have. And then I just threw in a bunch of just random, you know, just good Xyz monsters. It's possible to even summon this guy, the Harpy's Pet Dragon. Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. Utopia, Digusto Emerald, a Cowboy, and Dweller, which is always a good card. And the Honor Arc. And then just some Link monsters. Like, I don't have a whole lot of Link monsters myself that are any good, so I just threw in whatever I had. I mean, this one also requires wind monsters. Again, with the wind monsters, 2 effect monsters, and just Borreload Dragon. Again, I just threw these in there, but we do need the extra deck because we are playing the 2 Pot of Extravagance. Anyways, that's the deck. Let me know what you think. Always like to hear what you have to say. Throw some comments down below. What would you try? What would you take out? I always like to hear it. Hope you liked the video, and hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.